Hello there, and welcome to episode 219, 219 of Dude and a Monkey. My name's Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by...
Mark Foster. Hello, everybody.
Hi. So, we're going to keep it nice and loosey-goosey this evening as we go on a trip to the stars with Luc Besson's mental mind's eye, with a look at his comic book adaptation dud, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. We'll also talk some Twin Peaks, some what we've been watching, some trailers, probably some tangents, and yeah. How are we doing, Mark? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. The iOS 11 beta's a bit scary.
Is it? Yeah. In what way? In what way is it scary?
The control center where you flip up from the bottom to like turn your Wi-Fi off and on and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It's a whole mess of stuff.
It's quite nice and clean and crisp at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And now there's blobs all over the place. And for instance, right, if I wanted to select that I wanted something to play from my AirPods instead of my iPhone if my AirPods weren't connecting, I'd swipe left, I'd click where it said iPhone and just select AirPods. Now, it was like, well, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. So I have to long press on the blob that's got what I'm playing, and then click on an icon, and then click on AirPods once it detects them. And it feels... The thing is, it's instead of having two swipes, you've got it all on the one thing now. So I suppose you're removing something there, but then it's like you're kind of almost having to do more work even though it's all on the one screen. I'm sure I'll get used to it.
That's it. A lot of times, about getting used to stuff, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, I also just spent a good 2 minutes looking for the iTunes store because the icon's changed.
Oh,
It's
like that.
It's a star. And it's a bit
Right.
like... Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And if you oh god, yeah, and if you take a screenshot as well, it automatically puts it in the bottom left, like you want to do something with it there and then. And it's like, so you got to click on it, and then if you don't want to do anything, then click on done, and then it asks you whether you want to save it or delete it. It's nice that it asks you if you want to delete it, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't broken before. You know, like everybody knows how to take a screenshot on an iPhone and then what you do with it. It's not broken. But the font's changed slightly, and that's quite nice. And there's a bit more animation to stuff, which I quite like. So it's all right so far, and it's free for anybody to use now. It's a public beta. But it weirded me out to start with. So that's the first tangent of the episode done. And I thank you for your time. Has anything happened this week?
No. Donald Trump inferred nuclear war. That's about it. But we avoid talking about that on this show anyway. But I would say that nothing much of interest has happened this week. There's probably something glaring that's in the fucking background. We're going, I don't think anything's happened this week.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think anything has either. So
No.
okay, we'll just get into some trailers then. So Mark, what have you got?
The Death Wish trailer, the Eli Roth, Joe Carnahan, favourite of the show, written, Bruce Willis starring Death Wish remake, reboot, redevelopment. Well, I don't even know now. Summer. It's some kind of Death Wish thing. Starring Bruce Willis. I liked it, actually, which is quite strange because I'm not Eli Roth's biggest fan. And I think a lot of people would claim that Eli Roth has he's gone off the boil since his first few films. Well, I don't like his first few films, but I quite liked his last film, and I quite like the look of this.
Okay. I mean,
His last film was Knock Knock, wasn't it?
yes, it was.
Yeah. Knock Knock.
Yeah, I mean, everyone seems to hate this trailer, and I I can see why, to be honest. It's the tone of it which is really weird. Um, because I don't know, it's hard to marry up your wife's been murdered with jokes.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
And I mean, the thing is, if it's just not representative of what the film actually is, then fair enough. But it's like the most jokey Bruce Willis performance by the looks of it in a good long while, and it's for the remake of Death Wish.
Yeah,
I mean, never judge a movie by its trailer. I'm intrigued, but holy shit, it could be bad.
oh, it could be fucking awful.
It could be like worst of the year territory, but if it's more interesting and subversive than this trailer, even then again, this trailer's actually quite subversive. It's like a fucking right wing propaganda fantasy with jokes. I was rather taken aback by it, to be honest. Like the choice of music as well. I don't know. It looks like something for like flyover state America to have a few beers while watching and just shout about how great it is to own a gun.
It's got Tuesday night watch written all over it.
Sure, yeah.
It is a total Tuesday night Netflix watch.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair. We'll probably review it. So
We will, yeah.
yeah. So we'll get into it then. But it's I don't know. Especially in the day and age in which we find us, this feels like a very weird trailer.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's either going to be a lot less going on than this trailer lets on, or there's going to be a lot more going on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. But yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah. What else have we had? The full trailer for Mother, the Darren Aronofsky, what looks like being a kind of horror movie.
Straight horror.
Like it's kind of Rosemary's Baby kind of territory, I would say there. I knew that Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem were in it, and then all of a sudden Ed Harris walked in, and I thought that is just the most Ed Harris role in the world.
Yeah.
That is so Ed Harris. It's untrue, and I don't even know what he does yet, but I'm assuming he's Ed Harris. Yeah, it looks a little bit like what I'd imagine a Darren Aronofsky horror film would look like.
Yep.
And I'm fine with that.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's some interesting imagery in there. The blood filling up in the light bulb is like actually quite Evil Dead, frankly. And yeah, it looks like a mystery. It's very exciting that it's just out in a month.
Yeah, I'll make a couple of predictions on it. Film people who don't normally watch horror will absolutely adore it and think that it's incredible.
Yeah.
And film people who horror is their jam will watch it and go, there's a lot of straight to VOD stuff in this that I've kind of seen before, but it's just been done slightly better and slightly more polished.
Yeah, I can see that.
But the blood fill up a light bulb thing, when I saw that, I thought, I've seen that somewhere and not in something very good. So I think it's going to be a bit like that. There'll be a lot of people in my brain. I'm already picking them out and thinking, I know it's going to be going all this and gushing over it, like, oh, this is it's proper horror. It's the way horror should be. It's like, kind of, yeah, but also a little bit like, do you know what? It's a bit schlocky, though, isn't it? Just because it's got Darren Aronofsky's name on it, don't mean it's not schlocky.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that this is very, very likely not going to be going for any awards whatsoever. It can just be a film with Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem and directed by Darren Aronofsky, which can just be a genre film.
Yeah.
You know, that would be great. That'd be great. Yeah, good.
What else have we got? What else have I watched this week, trailer-wise? Sure, there's more. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, I started watching a trailer for a film called Keep Watching.
And then you stopped watching?
Yeah, I did actually after about about a minute and 10 seconds. I went, I can't even make it through the fucking trailer.
Nice.
Goodbye, Christopher Robin.
God, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, oh god, honestly, there are many reasons I am not an actor. Many. And at the very bottom of the list, reason like 2,607, but that reason now is pertinent to this, is if I was Donald Gleeson and that kid was walking next to me, I wouldn't be able to, every time the director says, cut, go, you got a really fat face, haven't you?
Nice.
I hope you grow into that face. You do realise that you're going to be, when you're like 20, you're going to have to look really fucking ripped so some fucking clickbait site can say, remember that kid from Goodbye Christopher Robin? Well, here's him now. That's going to be you in 15 years. Do you want a cigarette? Because that's all I could think all the way through it was, I can't watch this film because that kid's fucking haircut and face is too weird.
Okay.
What did you think? Did you think it looked boring?
Yeah, no, I mean...
Boring as shit.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like September awards bait film, which will get absolutely no traction whatsoever.
Yeah. It looks like... It's like with Donald Gleeson, it's like, you don't have to do every script you sent, mate. Just pass on some.
Yeah, I'm not that thrilled about it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I've seen. I'm sure there's a few more I've watched, or if I'm just imagining that. Nothing, that's it. What is there anything else you've caught? It might spur me on to go, oh, actually, yeah, watch that.
What's the trailer for Brigsby Bear? Which is this, like, I've kind of seen its name being chucked around as the next big quirky indie film that IndieWire wanks itself over and it makes no money. And yeah, so I mean, the plot description on the iTunes trailer app: Brigsby Bear Adventures is a children's TV show produced for an audience of one, James. When the show abruptly ends, James's life changes forever. He sets out to finish the story himself and must learn to cope with the realities of a new world that he knows nothing about. Well, I didn't get that from the trailer at all. It's a load of imagery with some plinky plonky music, and Mark Hamill's in it at the end. I genuinely couldn't tell you a thing about it. I watched it a few days ago and I've completely forgotten, apart from the plinky plonky music. So yeah, that's it. But no, that's it for me as well.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think did I see anything before Valerian that was new? I don't think I did. I think it was all the usual trailers we're getting at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it kind of feels like we're in that. I mean, like we're getting towards the end of the summer blockbuster season, so I suppose it's not really a shocker, to be fair.
And there's fucking shitloads of films out in the next few weeks. I was just looking at it like earlier today and going, wow, there's like a few weeks here where there's like at least 3 movies I want to see.
No, I mean, this week is fucking crazy. Like, literally, I'm gonna go see 3 films over the next week in the cinema. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like, bloody hell, ease off a bit. I think next week there's a couple as well.
There's a couple next week, and then the week after that, in the
Week after that.
25th, there's like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah.
Detroit's out. There's something else out.
Yeah, there's definitely something else.
There's American Made.
That was what I was
Something
thinking.
else, yeah. But there's something else out as well with Detroit.
Yeah, Death Note's out on Netflix that weekend.
Hell.
Yeah, it's a busy one. Yeah, I mean, what do you actually have opening around you this week?
What you want? Oh, Logan Lucky, that was it. Logan Lucky,
Logan
American
Lucky
Made,
that day
and
as well.
Detroit are all out the same fucking week, and I want to see all 3 of those.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see all 3 of those, but like, thank goodness for a bank holiday weekend is what I'd say.
I'm working 7 days that week.
Oh, that's brutal.
And then next week is it next week? Yeah, we've got the Hitman's Bodyguard and the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
And this week,
Dark Tower's only an hour and a half long at least.
I know it is, yeah. And this week it's the Annabelle movie, A Ghost Story, and
Atomic
what else?
Blonde.
An Atomic Blonde, of course, yeah.
Annabelle Creation, 10:20 showing next Tuesday. It's my birthday next Tuesday. Donna's taking the day off work and she said I can go to the cinema in the morning. So it's like, yep, sweet, 10:20 in the morning showing of Annabelle.
That's a solid time to go and see that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of when I went to see a double bill of Monsters University and The Conjuring. If I could double bill Annabelle with like a kids film, that would be amazing, but it's not going to happen. So, but yeah, okay. So just while we're on that, then, I mean, what can you actually see for next week's show?
Annabelle, A Ghost Story, or Atomic Blonde. I can see all 3 of them.
Okay. We'll discuss it, but I will see all 3 before next Wednesday if we record next Wednesday. So
next Wednesday, I will probably see A Ghost Story, and because I'm very intrigued by that. Very intrigued by that. And I will probably see Atomic Blonde, to be honest, as well.
That's fine. Okay, cool. I can just talk about Annabelle in what we were watching bit anyway. You weren't as high on Annabelle as Noel and
I didn't like it, no.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, okay, cool. Anyway, going back to this week's show, though, let's talk some Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It is directed by Luc Besson, and it stars Dane DeHaan, Cara Delevingne, Clive Owen, Rihanna, Ethan Hawke, that jazz guy whose name I've forgotten, Herbie Hancock, which is really weird, and others. So, Valerian.
Rutger Hauer in a blink and you will miss him. If you turn up 2 minutes late for this movie, you will miss Rutger Hauer.
That was... And he's in the opening credits.
Yeah, he is. And Rutger Hauer is gone.
Was it special appearance by... Did I see that?
It may have been, actually, but yeah, it literally is. He's there and then he's not.
It's like one shot. It is literally one shot.
Yeah, I don't even believe it's him.
I completely forgot until you just said then, but it just came flooding back. Right, okay, so Valerian. Story is...
Looking forward to you trying to explain this one.
Okay, alright. The City of a Thousand Planets started off as an Earth-made space station, which other civilizations then connected themselves onto, and it was then pushed out of Earth's orbit to kind of travel off itself. In it, there is something radioactive, which appears to be killing it from the inside. And Valerian and his partner, played by Dane DeHaan, and his partner Laureline, played by Cara Delevingne, are dispatched to essentially investigate it. Along the way, they discover a race that may or may not have ill intentions, and a race of big fat aliens that definitely do have ill intentions. And Ethan Hawke's a space pimp. Mark, Valerian.
You're this is a film that I'm getting the feeling that you're willing to go to bat for. Yeah.
Well, no, you don't get the feeling. Just a little bit of background, guys, and a bit of a spoiler for my opinion on it. We have a WhatsApp thread where Jordan was rather negative about Valerian, and let's just say I kind of went off on one.
Yeah. I was in a horrible mood when I went in to see this earlier today. Like a really horrible mood. To the point where there was 3 girls who I couldn't understand how they got into the film because it's a 12A and they were about sort of 12, 13 years old and they were dicking about during all the trailers and everything like that. And I might have said to them, do me a favour, sit down and shut the fuck up. And then I thought, I don't think I'm in the right frame of mind for this movie. And then I thought, hang on a minute. This movie's about to start, but it kicks out in like 2.5 hours nearly. What the shit?
Yeah.
Didn't know it was 2 hours, 20 minutes. Didn't know that. Thought it was about 95 minutes.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Starts. Fun start, innit? Starts off with I like the opening start. You've got David Bowie playing. You've got the whole world building with the International Space Centre, and then it becomes more nations joining it, and then more fucking species join it, and it grows and it grows and it grows. Then we're introduced to Valerian and Lorelei, and from there, once you get into it, you kind of realise that you're just getting swept away on it. And I think it's one of those movies where if you go into it a little bit sniffy or with a little bit sort of negative feelings towards the movie or asking the movie to win you over, I don't think it's ever going to do that. But if you get yourself into a place where you go, sit back and you go, do you know what? Entertain me. Entertain me. Don't make me fucking think. I don't want to think. Entertain me. Then it will. It will entertain you because it's really entertaining. You cannot be bored during this movie because there's too much going on for you to be bored. There's so much. This movie should be 95 minutes, but I'm really, really glad it's not 95 minutes because I think if it was 95 minutes, it's a big crap. The fact that it is 2 and a bit hours long, and it is a little bit too long, but if it came out and there was a 3-hour version of it, fuck it. I'd be like, yeah, sit me down. I want to watch that. I want to watch this for 3 hours. The bit that I was most worried about was Cara Delevingne. Thought, right, she's a model, and she's been a little bit not stellar in anything she's been in so far. So I was a bit worried there. Thought she was quite charming, to be honest. Thought she was actually probably more charming than Dane DeHaan.
She's a lot better than Dane DeHaan. He is probably my biggest criticism of the film.
Yeah, I think the thing is, and we'll get into this, I think he's both right for the role and wrong for the role at the same time.
His face doesn't look right for it.
No, that's it. I get the idea that the thing is, he's supposed to not look like you'd expect him to look. And it's supposed to get by through on his charm alone. But I get the feeling that he's maybe not as charming as he needs to be. He's got a good smile, is what I would say. He's got a very charming smile. But yeah, I had a really good time with it. I don't think it's as good a time as you with it, but I had a very good time with it. I thought it was impressive, and there's an awful lot going on. It cost, what is it, nearly $200 million? It's cost.
Yeah, like 180 million.
Yeah,
which is, mental.
And there's no way it's making that back at all because it's too niche in a sense of I don't think if this film had been released 15 years ago, maybe not 15, maybe 20 years ago, I think it'd have been basically around the same time as The Fifth Element was released. it would be treated like The Fifth Element is treated now. Now, weirdly, I don't get on with The Fifth Element, but it would be treated like that. But we're in a strange place. I can't believe not more's been made of it. The fact that the comic series is called Valerian and Laureline, and the film's called Valerian. I'm staggered that more hasn't been made of that.
I mean, to be fair, it could almost be called Laureline and the City of a Thousand Planets.
It could. It could.
Like, and I'm not just saying that because Cara Delevingne is better in it.
But she did it as much, if not more.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she might be in the film more than he is.
Yeah, it might be, but yeah, I'll let you talk about it now. But yeah, I had a very good time with it, and it only started to make me go, I kind of need you to get to a bit of an end in the last 10-15 minutes.
Can I ask you a question quickly? When you saw it, did it look like you were watching a Blu-ray projected onto a big screen with black bars on the top and bottom?
Not that I noticed, no.
No, okay, fine. Yeah, View in Merthyr Tydfil, well fucking done. Like, it basically just looked like it was like they had it set to flat, but it was playing scope with black bars on the top and bottom. It was like, so that really bothered me from the start. But by about 20 minutes in, it was just like, I'm just into this world. I'm like, this is great. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about the opening 15-20 minutes of this film, which are basically a great bit of almost silent exposition other than the music. You've got some dialogue but from Rutger Hauer and whatnot, and the idea of the film that is basically said on screen from the start about cooperation between those who don't know each other and aren't necessarily familiar with each other.
It's not subtle.
No,
at all. I mean, especially when they're explaining the different regions of the later on in the film, and it's basically like, look, you've got the East who control all the financial sector, and then you've got the West. We're going through a bit of a tough time at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean but like the thing is, you've got a film talking about the world or how Besson sees the world. And it's all an analogy for something. But, and going back to Jordan fucking loves Avatar, right? Fucking loves it. It's a visual wonder. You know, he felt like he was in that world. Fucking adores that film. And it's got a story which is derivative can be. Now, Valerian does not have the most original story in the world, but it feels like it's actually about something. What is Avatar about? Trees are better than fucking guns.
The weird thing is, with Avatar, and I must make a mild confession here, right? I've never actually seen Avatar in one block. I've seen the whole movie. And it's not like I've watched it, paused it, or stopped it, and then picked it back up. I've seen like the first hour and a half, and then not watched the rest of it, and then seen from about an hour in and watched it to the end. So I've never actually watched it in one complete thing, and that's because the two times that I watched it, I fucking struggled with it really, really badly. It just didn't get on with it at all. Now, apparently, if you saw it in the cinema, you would have had a different experience.
I've never been as let down by a film as much as I have by Avatar.
Well,
right now.
What I will say is, I remember when Avatar, with the whole big brouhaha about Avatar was going on, and at the time I was like, I quite simply don't care. And I still don't care.
5 out of 10. Day one, wrote a review, 5 out of 10. And I'm fucking sticking to it.
I know the guy, Tom, who wrote the review for Empire, who actually lives in America now. I knew him. I did film studies with him. And he when he went up on the website after the embargo was lifted, it was 5 stars. 5 stars, full review, 5 out of 10. If you actually 5 out of 5, if you actually read the review, he just basically slates it in the review, but it still says 5 out of 5 stars. And he said that he was basically told it's a 5-star movie, no matter what. It's a 5-star movie. You can put whatever you want in the review, but it's a 5-star movie.
Yeah, no, it's not. But this is the thing. So you got Avatar. It made more money than God. Whatever. And then you've got Valerian, which is very, very expensive. Like, visually, it takes you into a different world, I genuinely think, in moments. Like that introduction sequence where it's like, essentially, you are watching a planet's apocalypse is staggering. Absolutely staggering. And I love that the reason why that was happening was because essentially it was big boys playing with toys and not caring about the consequences.
Yeah.
Like, that is that's great. I thought it was going to be they were wanting some sort of mineral on that planet or some shit like that, or they were attacking them for X reason. No, they weren't.
Nope.
They just didn't care about the collateral damage, which is a ballsy, uncinematic moment, but is made cinematic by the fact that you've basically got a 10-15 minute long flashback. The film is too long, and there's moments like those you could probably cut out. And then just the reactions to Clive Owen, and it's almost silent. There's not really much going on there. But then also the dilemma that Valerian has about, well, do we let them do what they want to do or not? Because in the end of the day, I've got a mission here. And then the idea of love triumphing over all, which is kind of basically what The Fifth Element is. But it's nowadays that is quite an almost esoteric idea. Love conquers all, whereas, like in cinema past, it was a defining feature of a lot of films.
Absolutely, it's seeming like that you can only do that if you're doing it in a cynical way.
Yeah.
If you're doing it to almost appear meta with it. And it's a bit like, meta's, it's had its time. It's gone now. Appearing meta has almost become meta nowadays. But yeah, it just seems like we can't have tropes from cinema. We can't have these, like you say, the love conquers all things. That is a prime example anymore because, well, it's already been done before. It's like, yeah, it has, and cinema was doing it very well and very regularly for like over 100 years before social media.
Yeah, no, quite exactly. I don't know. It's a film which feels like it's about something, does some ballsy stuff with the narrative. Yes, Dane DeHaan's not great, but the big market sequence is incredible.
Book, right, all right, yeah. And I agree with you. He's not great, but is there anybody that jumps at your mind that you could replace him with and make the film better? Because I was thinking about this and thinking, right, but you can't, because the whole he's got to marry up. The thing is, he's supposed to look awkward, not awkward, but out of place as the person he is, and the same for Cara Delevingne. They're supposed to look out of place for the positions they're in, and there's a theme running through it. There's no you either look way too young for that for your standing, or you're at the older end of the spectrum. There's no kind of middle ground. Nobody looks like they're in their 30s in this movie. What I was saying is, me and you are underrepresented in this film.
Yeah, no, we are.
But nobody looks like they're in their 30s or like even their early 40s. Everybody either look 20s or 50 plus. And it's a strange thing because I mean I think Dane DeHaan is maybe early 30s, maybe at a push, but looks like he's in his early 20s.
Yeah.
31 he is, by the way, but he looks like he's in his early 20s. And I was thinking about it, thinking he doesn't seem right for the role, but I have a feeling that he's supposed to not seem right for the role. I think it kind of fits in. And I think if you put somebody in that was more classically attractive, then I think you're losing part of that. And if you put somebody in who's more physically the right build for it, then that also stops it being ring things. But I think that it's just that now we expect him to look like that. You know, somebody like, I have a feeling that the list will have been probably Dane DeHaan, Dave Franco, and a couple of others. And then you look at it and you're thinking, well, actually, Dane DeHaan kind of makes sense in a it doesn't make sense way.
It's weird. You're spinning it harder than I would have.
It is, but that's it. I agree with you. I agree with you that he's not great at it, but I can't think of a single other person that I'd go there because I think they come as a team.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair shout. I'm racking my brain and I can't think of anybody either.
That's it. I think you could change both of them, and it might benefit the film or it might make the film worse. But I think that they look kind of almost right with each other.
Okay, all right. No, I'll take that. Yeah. So the big market sequence is genuinely visually inventive.
Yes, it's very fun.
You know, it's the only film I can remember that does like the going on two planes of existence at the same time thing is Jonah Hex. And in Jonah Hex, it was basically because they shot two versions of the fight scene and didn't know what to do with either of them. But in this, it is just insanely choreographed, like what they're actually like the movements they're doing, and just great, really, really great stuff. And the bit where he's crashing through all the levels to catch the commander is great.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the fact that the end action sequence it's almost the standoff is the action sequence as opposed to the resulting action, and I quite enjoy that. So yeah, it's a film that has weirdly got a hard time, and I don't really know why, because it's the kind of just balls out mental cinema that a lot of self-aggrandizing cinephiles seem to say they want, but when they get it, they just take the piss out of it. And that's not a comment on Jordan, by the way. I just want to, I know I mentioned him a couple of times, and that's not a comment on Jordan. But at the same time, I don't get how anyone just laughs at this film.
No, I don't understand the kind of the fume behind it, to be honest. Other than, again, not a criticism of John, other than just pure kind of snobbery. But it doesn't even seem like a film that should attract snobbery. You know, is it because Luc Besson's name is not exactly a symbol of quality, is it? Let's be honest.
No, true.
In a sense of, you know, directorial wise, we had both had great fun with Lucy when we watched that together a couple of years ago.
Yep.
I quite liked The Family.
It is mental that Luc Besson a couple of films ago was doing The Family and now he's doing this.
Mm. But the reason why he's been able to do this is because his production company made movies like the Taken series and the Transporter series and 9 Lives, weirdly.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's kind of why he's managed to get this passion project off the ground and has managed to get it made for you managed to get the money to make it. Essentially, I mean, really, the Taken series has paid for this movie.
Yeah, no,
You,
great,
you
and
can you can argue that I would say in a sense for that because in what the Taken movies probably cost in total what 150 million in
at a push,
total
I'd say, yeah.
maybe and made probably let's have a look to just to see so 48 million 326 million the first one the second the well let's see if we can find all of them at once um, here we go. Budget. In total, the budget was 119 million, and worldwide it grossed 929 million.
Bloody hell.
So there you go. So you're talking about an over $800 million profit. There you go. That paid for Valerian. And Luke Besson hasn't. Luke Besson doesn't think this movie's going to make money. He doesn't think this movie's going to make $1 billion. He really doesn't. He's made it because he's got the talent to make it, and he's got the resources to make it.
I mean, shit,
so he's
man.
made it.
It's done 88 million worldwide so far. Like, that's...
What territories has this still got to be released in? Because what we tend to get a little bit obsessed nowadays in is European territories and the US.
It's opened in a lot of places.
Has it opened in Asia?
In fairness, no.
Right, there you go. Now, I've already said this movie is not going to make its money back, but if this movie has any chance of making its money back or getting close to making its money back, then Asia is the market it will do it in. I mean, what's that film that's out in China at the moment that's made like $400 million in its first 2 weeks?
Is it Wolf Warriors or something?
Wolf Warrior 2.
Yeah.
Right, now, I'll be honest, never fucking heard of it. Never heard of it. And didn't know that. I think I've heard of Wolf Warriors. Haven't heard of Wolf Warriors 2. And it's made $570 million off a budget of $30 million. It's the second highest grossing Chinese movie ever. Chinese made and Chinese released movie, not there. So that is insane. Frank Grillo's in it.
That's right, he is.
Yeah. He plays a guy called Big Daddy. And that's made $570 million, right? So if we think that for a fucking second that it's what it makes in the States and what it makes in key European territories or what matter to a film, it just isn't like that anymore. I mean, what might harm this is I think we're in the period. This doesn't get released until I think it's November because at the moment in China they're in the block period, aren't they? Where it's for 6 or 8 weeks no non-Chinese funded films can be released.
No, non-Chinese funded.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said no Chinese funded.
There's no non-Chinese funded. So I think I actually read something that said this isn't released until late October, early November in China. So it might end up getting caught up in other movies and not doing that. But people thought this of, people were still going about Pacific Rim being a bomb, and it wasn't. People were still going about World of Warcraft being a bomb, and it wasn't. And plus, we do talk a lot about movie finding here because it is something that kind of it interests both of us. But it's not a show of quality or of how good a movie is. You only have to look at the Transformers movies to notice that. And it's the more that movies like this get as panned as they do and as poked fun at as they do, the less they're going to get made. And isn't that a shame?
100%. That's, which I think is my overall point, really, but very nicely kind of surmised there. It is the fact that if these films are just laughed out at the cinema, then you won't get people being able to be inventive with cinema. And for all that I say, I really like watching stuff on Netflix and whatnot. I mean, I think last week, I would have preferred to see Lost City of Z on a cinema screen. Yeah. I would have preferred to have seen Valerian properly projected. But but I am glad I saw it on a cinema screen.
Yeah, I'm absolutely the same. It is. I mean, that's the thing. It's if you. I think cinematic snark needs to get fucking toned down severely. I get the feeling that I might introduce if people are just being overtly snarky about cinema to me in person, I'm going to poke them in their eye. And then just when they say, "What is that for?" I said, "Because you annoying me," and it seems like that now. Every time you're gonna be snarky about it, you're gonna think, "Oh, wait a minute, my eye's twitching. Maybe I've been a little bit mean."
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's the. Please don't start doing that. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly it, man. It's a visually rich film which has got some like interesting stuff going on in the story if you're prepared to actually lend it your ear. And I'm really disappointed that we probably, well, definitely won't be getting any more of these.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Yeah, and like I say, Rihanna wasn't terrible in it. The whole performance piece, should we say,
Yeah.
was a little bit like it was a little bit like the best someone. Look, everyone knows that it's not you, Rihanna. So we're not even going to try and hide the fact that it's not you in bits of this. But in all the close-ups, it will be. All right? Yeah, I'm fine with that. And yeah, Cara Delevingne, I was pleasantly surprised by how charming she was in the role.
Yeah, absolutely, and I could have done with more of Ethan Hawke's Space Pimp.
You know, when you mentioned that Ethan Hawke played a space pimp, I thought, and I think I said this on the WhatsApp, there is no person not to play a space pimp, but if you were to say to me, anybody in the world, right, all of a sudden there's space exploration and there's all these new avenues open up in space, and somebody becomes a space pimp, one of my first thoughts would be, I bet that's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, boy.
He just looks like he could be a space pimp.
It's the shots during the Rihanna bit where it just cuts back to him playing that keyboard and just cackling to himself.
Yeah.
It's the best. Like I bet he had a really fun couple of days on set.
Yeah, I bet he did. I bet everyone did.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, it just I don't know, man. It's an international co-production with God knows how many bloody production companies named at the start, all coming together to basically make flesh Luc Besson's mental mind's eye, and bravo to it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I look forward to watching it again. It's this year's John Carter for me, and I am looking forward to it getting reevaluated and people saying they liked it all along when there'll be internet proof that they didn't.
It was John Goodman's voice.
Yeah, that must have been John Goodman's voice.
It was. I thought, when it started, I thought, is that John Goodman? No, it'd have been on the credits that it's John Goodman. I didn't see John Goodman's name. And I've just looked here. Yeah, John Goodman. Well, do you know what? Extra half a star there for John Goodman.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, that did make me laugh actually.
Definitely not shit.
I mean, shit, man. It was reported at the time as well. There was a Variety article about him joining it. But no, fair enough. Yeah, no, God, yeah, definitely not shit. Obviously, I thought it was a blast. Not top 10 at the end of the year. It is too long, and I am intrigued by your defence of him, Mark. But I'm still a little meh on Dane DeHaan. But yeah, definitely not shit. And it was, it was a treat. I thought.
I'm just reading here the captains that are welcoming people.
Yeah.
At the space station bit.
Mm-hmm.
They were Louis Leterrier and Oliver Megaton.
Shut the fuck up! Were they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite amusing. It's the more I think about it, the more that film kind of I'm more warming to that film.
Again, it's like part like co cooperation and whatnot, isn't it? It's like it's his
Yeah,
basically his fucking students
yeah,
like Rocket. Oh, good, yeah. Oh man, Valerian's great.
yeah.
Fuck me off.
I'm well within that. Definitely not shit. 60%.
Good.
Touching class 20% and shit 20%.
All right. The thing is, I believe that 20% is not Dan.
Yeah, I believe that's 20%. No, it wouldn't surprise me if Dan just to be a twat, just put definitely not shit.
Yeah, but the twat has now become the twatty.
Yeah, Dan never touches cloth, is what I will say.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, I bet. Okay, cool. So should we talk some peaks?
Yeah, let's talk some peaks.
Okay, so good episode. I thought.
Yeah, really solid episode.
Yeah, like you say, it all kind of does seem like it's starting to come together now. But there was some really good standout individual scenes as well.
Mm.
Derek Mears, great. Derek Mears' deflated face, great.
Yeah, that was that whole thing was just it was a treat.
Like just like a little short film of weirdness in amongst everything else.
Yeah. It kind of made you kind of for a moment like Bad Cooper. He's been so dislikable throughout it, and then during that, you kind of liked him. The fact that he was just toying with him, I don't like it. I like it when we're at starting position. See, when it was here, it kind of hurt, and when it was here, it really hurt. But it's fine. But here, you don't like this, do you? Because it hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean it's great. It's just the fucking like when he punches the face and it literally like feels like he's just burst a fucking ball or something. Like it's brutal. And just the whole thing with Ray, just like how Ray starts off all confident and cocky, and then they kind of start restraining him and making sure he can't go anywhere, and like it just the kind of panic that starts coming on his face was fantastic. I think my favourite music cue of the entire series was the bit at the start of the episode when they all come in the conga line. Just a bit of mental, like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah.
Ness to it. And fucking, not Belushi, Sizemore. Oh,
yeah.
Man, what a treat.
Yeah, Sizemore is... Because I genuinely think that Tom Sizemore's drug problems and mental health problems have genuinely robbed us of what would have been a truly great character actor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then this kind of just backs it up even more because he's playing it perfectly to how he's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's that mixture of bad soap actor with understanding exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. No, exactly. I don't know. And again, like the Dougie Jones thing. I would like to think maybe in the next episode it's actually going to go somewhere. I'm thinking maybe there's another attempted hit on him. Because obviously Sizemore hasn't cancelled anything with the copper yet or anything, so and maybe that's gonna fully rejig him.
I'd hope so because I'm not. I'm not disliking the Dougie Jones bit, but I'm a little bit. I'm now looking at going right. There's now 5 episodes. Come on. If no matter what happens, if it gets to that last 2 double episode, 17 and 18, and there is where we get Dale Cooper back, no matter what happens, I will be on the line of I don't quite think it's it's done what I hoped it would do. And
Yeah.
I'm very worried that that's where it's going to that's going to happen.
I have a feeling Dale Cooper's literally going to be like returned to us right at the end or something.
Yeah, that's my real fucking worry, and it does make me kind of go, oh, hang on a minute. I think because the reason why I liked this episode so much is because it just ticked along nicely. It didn't try and do too much at any one point. It felt like an episode of something, not like something that was trying to show you too much.
Yeah, I suppose it's just the fact that we're now not really mid-season. We're starting to get to
the climax,
end season. Yeah. And if anything, it's just, I mean, obviously Audrey was introduced in the last episode, and we got some weird stuff going on with her again. Amanda Seyfried has kind of barely been in it in the grand scheme of things. Richard Horn has not been in it all that much. And it's got an awful lot of plates spinning.
Yes. Yeah, it does. The Sarah Palmer with the boxing match on that weird loop.
That was I found that really disturbing, actually.
It was quite intense, wasn't it?
Because it's like, it's almost like it's just a regular everyday thing for her now.
Yeah.
And she just has to live in it. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Christ, you had that scene with Ashley Judd and her, like, disabled husband. Yeah. Maybe, like, 6 or 7 episodes ago, and nothing's come of that.
Nope, that's gone nowhere.
And it's... I have to wonder, I mean, like, Christ, I mean, Dr. Amp and Nadine, is that it for that now?
Yeah, it would seem like... I don't know, I think there's maybe something else in that.
Because, I don't know, it was almost like a punchline at the end of a really long joke, where it was like, tribute to you, that Drapes run silent, and it or whatever. It just kind of felt like almost like a jokey subplot that is now at an end.
And it's only after that Big Ed turns up.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's just that now. That would be nice.
It could be, yeah.
I need it to start stopping the plot threads that don't really mean anything.
The fact we've got Norma being introduced now, because like we said a couple of weeks ago that she's just looked at things so far, and now it turns out that she's turned a double R into a franchise.
Yeah.
And her and Big Ed are not together.
Which again, man,
I used to assume they were.
And it's like you've got him going off with Bobby, and obviously Shelley's with James now, and it's like. I don't know. They're like at the end of season 2 of Twin Peaks, Bobby and Shelley. It seemed like it was going to be happily ever after. I mean, like, even though to be fair, it really didn't for Big Ed and Norma. Like, that's one of the most upsetting things about the finale of Twin Peaks season 2 for me. Like, just like where Nadine gets her shit back together. But I don't know, man. I just. There's been a decent amount of fan service, and that's fine. And I mean, like, the musical performance was almost fan trolling, which was fantastic. But let's get some stuff done now.
Yeah.
Just bits and bobs, and I mean Naomi Watts as well. She was barely in this one, but I think that the end of her arc is going to be quietly heartbreaking, because I've got a feeling that she's getting all this stuff and it's going to be taken away from her.
Yeah, I think you could be right on that one. Yeah.
And like she started off as the shrill harpy almost, and now she's got the BMW and her kid's happy with the jungle gym and she's happy with Dougie, and it will all go bye-bye, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm believe me, I'm still really enjoying it, and I'm thinking by the time the series is over, there might be a lot of this stuff that I can just put to bed. But 5 episodes, we've got 5 hours left basically, and we need to maybe crack on with some stuff.
Yeah, my worry is that because they have Lynch has said that this is it. My worry is that it finishes and I go, all right, I've got shitloads more questions than I had 18 hours ago.
It would it would be a Lynch thing to do to not really have an ending, but yeah. I would like to think he's got respect for the fans who, if he's saying it's the end, that he would wrap things up.
And the characters, to be honest.
Yeah, and yes, quite. Yes, that's a really good point.
Because, again, another thing I was talking about and saying that, the whole... The Twin Peaks hasn't become... didn't become the cultural phenomenon and become the quietly revered thing that it's become over the 20-odd years since it was first aired, simply because of David Lynch. The other point of that is... And the risk I think that they took with doing the return of, I'm not saying it hasn't paid off because I'm not saying that, but they weren't the only, David Lynch and Mark Frost weren't the only two writers of the whole thing. They helmed the best of it, but a lot of the development was done by other people. Now they've taken all of that and it's just them two, and also as well, it wasn't only Lynch that directed them. He actually out of the first run, actually directed 6 episodes. So he's actually directing 18 here, which is 3 times the amount, and it's the entire series, which isn't a problem because it's 18 hours of Lynch, which is fantastic. But the other point of that is it was never just David Lynch's Twin Peaks. It was Mark Frost and David Lynch's Twin Peaks. Mark Frost has almost as much of an eye on it as Lynch and affects it as Lynch. But then there's the other part of that is... A big part of it was you fell for Dale Cooper, and the thing is, I do feel a little bit like I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really liking it, but there's something that's just missing from it for me, and it's painfully obvious that the thing that is missing from it that would make me go, here's the fucking warm hug that Twin Peaks is to me, is Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
And to know now that I'm probably not going to get that until the very end is making me go, do you know what? It might help with that emotional payoff. And it might make me go, that was fucking incredible. But it ain't going to make me go back and watch it as much as I will do season 1.
It's got to be Dale Cooper, having the final fight. Whether it's, physically or metaphysically or whatever.
He's got to win.
And he's got to win. Yeah.
He's got to win. Otherwise it'll be a little bit like, if he doesn't win in some way, it will be a little bit for me like, right, okay, you've kind of ruined the whole fucking thing for me.
Yeah, so no, I can see that.
And that's where I'm really, really fucking... I don't want to come out at the end of this and go, right, I really enjoyed that, but I wish it had never happened.
Oh, God.
But I don't think it's going to happen. I do think we're not going to get Dale Cooper until the last 2 episodes. I think we'll get into the second to last episode. I think we'll get episode 17 because they're airing the same night.
Yeah.
So effectively, it's a double episode. It's one big long episode, really. I don't think we'll get it till then. But I do think that we'll get him having the victory because it's never been a nasty show. It's been a grimy show and have nasty elements, but I get the feeling that it's got to have something. If it's going to conclude completely, it's got to end on some form of hopeful note.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's fair. 100%. Okay, so let's move on from Twin Peaks then. So, Mark, what else have you been watching this week?
I watched Life.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, what do you think?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, like you say, it's a good sci-fi horror film.
Yeah.
You know, I expected sci-fi. I didn't expect it to be as horror-y as it is.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it?
You know, it's a Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, Ryan Reynolds, Aoki Sudanda, and you know, it looks like it cost more than it cost.
Sure.
But it's a horror movie. It's a sci-fi horror movie. It's like I say, there's some solid body horror in there.
Mm-hmm.
It knocks off people at points where you wouldn't expect it to knock off people. It's got some great performances. It's a solid watch. It's a 7.5 out of 10 movie.
Yeah, very good.
But that's it. There's not that much to say about it, though, really, I don't think.
Very good.
Weirdly. Watched Lego Batman.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yep. Go on.
It's way too long. And it's only 104 minutes. And it's a good 15 minutes too long. Is what I would say on that.
Okay. Sure.
You could have cut quite a bit out of it. It's funny. I don't think it is ever laugh out loud funny.
Okay. Yep.
Whereas I think at points the Lego Movie was at points laugh out loud funny, but it's nice chuckle fare running through it, I think. But it does feel like it was trying to almost kickstart a universe. I don't think it'll have done that, really. I have a feeling that... Because we're getting a Lego Movie 2. Is that happening?
Yeah, Lego Movie 2's happening. You got Lego Ninjago coming in October.
Yeah, so it's a little bit like that. I think there's an audience there for it. I'm just not sure if it's me.
Yeah, no, quite. I mean, I'm kind of there as well, really. I mean, it also, I don't think it did as well as they were hoping it would. It did 311 million worldwide, which I don't know, for a kids film that is Lego and Batman, 311 million, it does not feel. I mean, like Christ, the Lego Movie did 470 million.
Yeah.
So that's quite a substantial drop off.
And the thing is, Lego Movie did it from a standing
standing start. Like this Lego Batman, he was introduced in the Lego Movie, and that feels weird to me. I mean, they came out pretty much the same weekend, but 3 years apart.
Yeah.
And I find that really odd, but.
I didn't get that what is it guy with Lord Voldemort for quite a while and was thinking, who is that?
Yeah.
And then I looked at my phone to see who it was because I thought I know it's Eddie Izzard, but who is it? So my phone went, oh, it's Voldemort. Ah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, but good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I rewatched The Beach.
Okay, good. Right, how did that go?
I've not watched this probably since it came out on DVD in like 2000 and probably late 2000, maybe early 2001. I'd probably say late 2000. I haven't watched it since then, to be honest. So you're going on like 16, 17 years. And I've always been a little bit afraid to rewatch it, to be honest, because it does seem a little bit like a movie that would age horribly. And so been hovering over it for a while and suggested to Betsy the day, and she went, actually, yeah, let's give it a go, and just sort of see how it's held up. And the weird thing is, I think if I'd have watched it 5 years ago, I'd have said this movie has aged horribly. But now it doesn't feel. It feels like it's aged, but not that bad, really, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
It just feels more like a timepiece Like it made like the fact that you've got an internet cafe and things like that there shows its age, but then it that was the age it was made in. So it doesn't feel that age as much as I thought it would do. And the story is still quite solid. The performances are still okay enough for the type of movie it is. Boyle is doing some interesting stuff. I clearly didn't remember that it tries to ape quite brazenly Apocalypse Now as well.
Oh yeah,
At points, didn't remember that. And my affection for Apocalypse Now wasn't as high then as it obviously is now. So that was fun. But yeah, it was. I thoroughly enjoyed my rewatch of it.
The video game sequence.
The video games
is a bit rough.
The video game bit was shit in 2000 though. I don't think it's aged bad. I just think it was always bad.
Yeah. Okay. Fair shout.
But yeah, I enjoyed my rewatch of it, to be honest. I quite enjoyed sort of getting back into it and going, I remember watching this at the cinema. I remember, reading the book and talking to people about the book. I remember buying the DVD when it first came out. I remember it being like a big deal for my age group. You have Danny Boyle, who directed Trainspotting, coming into contact with Leonardo DiCaprio, who was this massive star, and then you had the fucking Moby soundtrack and things like that. And it's, there are some bits that are just a bit fucking weird, that you get the feeling like Danny Boyle went, I don't want to do that though. But the studio went, you're going to do it. Like, essentially, I've had Moby doing the same song. Do I need to put All Saints in it? Yeah, you need to have some kind of love scene between the two main characters, and it needs to be to this song.
Good old All Saints.
Yeah. And it holds up quite nicely. It's actually quite a gnarly film at points.
Yep. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it gets rough.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's all I've watched this week. I've had a bit of a hectic week. So what have you caught this week?
Okay, so I watched a third watch of The Boss Baby.
Okay,
literally, we bought it on iTunes for Lottie, and Donna and I just ended up watching the entire thing with her.
You've seen that 3 times.
I've now seen The Boss Baby 3 times. I like The Boss Baby. I think it's funny.
Do you know what? It's $1.99 to rent it on fucking Amazon Prime at the moment. I kind of think I might have to get it.
I think you need to rent it. I think we need to have a conversation about The Boss Baby once you've watched it. But moving on, I watched the Emoji Movie. So,
which emoji would you use to describe it?
I would use the Sir Patrick Stewart emoji. And
why am I not surprised?
The credit at the end and Sir Patrick Stewart as poop. I hope they paid him a buttload to do that fucking film. It is as bad as everyone's saying it is.
Because I remember when the Angry Birds movie came out, everyone said it was terrible, and then we both watched it at different times and went, I thought it was alright. Actually, I quite enjoyed it.
Angry Birds is fine.
Yeah.
It's no great shakes, but it's not nearly as bad as you would think it to be.
It's not as bad as it should be.
No. The Emoji Movie is just so lazy, and so intent on just advertising things. I mean, they literally play rounds of Candy Crush and Just Dance in this. So there are sections that are basically a 5-minute advertisement. And God, Lottie yesterday was talking about Candy Crush and talking about the voice in it saying game over. And it was just like, oh God, what have I done? And she'll, like, as far as I'm concerned, she'll never play Candy Crush. So, like, they're not going to get... And Christ, I will have the in-app purchases switched off. I've got passwords and Touch ID fucking locked down on everything now. Because she's getting to that age. So, yeah, I mean, Christ, the story. Alright. You've got the meh emoji. He wants to be more than meh, but he just has to be meh. Because each emoji's only allowed to be one thing. And all the other emojis think it's weird that he is trying to be more than meh. However, the shit emoji, no one, says, you stink, I want to get away from you. They're all perfectly happy to be with him, so it doesn't really make any sense. So, he wants to be turned into just meh. So, he teams up with the high five emoji and a hacker emoji, voiced by Anna Faris, to go to the cloud via Dropbox. So basically they need to go to Dropbox in order to be turned into just meh. And yeah, it's about you can be more than one thing, even though if you're a female character who gives a monologue about how she doesn't want to be defined as a princess or a bride, and then literally 10 minutes later runs back and essentially saves the day and submits to essentially being a princess, then, well done. I mean, when I say save the day, I mean, she doesn't really. She rejects meh and then immediately regrets it and basically defines her life around him, which was what she didn't want to do 10 minutes ago. James Corden's the high five emoji. There's that. Yeah.
You're not selling it. I don't think I'll watch this.
No, it's genuinely the thing that I came closest to laughing at was in the background of one scene, the poop emoji or the shit emoji is hitting a fan. Which I actually thought was quite a funny visual gag.
Yeah.
So, points there. But, yeah, it's a 90-minute long advert for things that you don't want to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to get angry about it because, frankly, it just means that I'm never going to download the apps that it's really talking about. Like, Spotify's featured in it. Fuck you, Spotify. I got Apple Music, so that's fine. Dropbox, I don't use Dropbox. Twitter's in it, actually. So maybe I should stop using Twitter. But that's probably just a fucking life hack. Just how to make yourself happier. Stop using Twitter.
Out of curiosity, how much is Apple Music?
$9.99 a month. Actually, I got £99 for a year. So how much is that?
Is it normally $9.99 a month?
It's normally $9.99 a month, but I get it for $8.25 a month.
And how many accounts can you have on that?
Oh, if you want a family sharing one, it's $14.99, but you can have 4, I think.
So that's the same as Spotify, isn't it?
That's the same as Spotify, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. The Emoji Movie. It's fucking shit, but of course it is.
Yeah.
That's really the review in a nutshell. The Emoji Movie. It's shit, but you already know that. Don't bother reading the next 500 words. So there you go. Bobbins. It's worse than Bobbins. It's fucking it's actually quite unpleasant. But yeah. Okay, I obviously watched Gregory's Girl Patreon. So fuck, man, what did I watch yesterday? Shit, that's not a good sign, is it? Seriously, what the fuck did I watch yesterday? I watched something yesterday and I can't remember what it was. Oh god. Oh yeah, Fun Mom Dinner. That was it.
Fun Mom Dinner.
And I wrote a review of it, which is on Screen Jabber now as well. So, this is the Bad Moms ripoff that stars Toni Collette. and Molly Shannon and Adam Scott, and it's produced by Paul Rudd and written by Paul Rudd's wife. Um,
Okay.
yeah, directed by the lady who's directing the Barbie film as well. So it's got VOD all over it when it's called Fun Mom Dinner. But then you look
Yeah.
at it and it's like, actually, there's some relatively not VOD stuff going on here.
Yeah.
So
Is it
basically,
Kate Asselton as well?
yeah, that's her.
In
Yeah,
it. Mark Duplass's missus.
that's her. Yeah.
She's a funny woman.
She's a good-looking lady as well. Actually,
She's
fair
a
play.
very good looking lady. She is, as Becky describes her, my goals.
I was, my thoughts on your wife are well documented, so we won't go down that particular road. But I was thinking she looks like your wife. So anyway,
Well, the thing is, she's in The League, the
that's right. Yeah.
Nick Kroll, Mark Duplass movie, and we're at the moment we're quite big fans of The League, me and Bex, and we're doing a rewatch of there's like six, seven series, I think. We're like halfway through series 3 at the moment, doing a rewatch of the whole thing. No, actually, we're just at the end of series 3. I'm doing a rewatch of the whole thing. So literally, like, we always need a half an hour show on the go, and I'm getting to see Kate Aselton like 2-3 times a night.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
That's it. Honestly, The League. If everyone needs a half an hour fucking show, that's a great show to get into.
Yeah. Oh God, if I watch TV, I'm finding it hard enough to watch Luke Cage at the moment. But good shout. So basically, it's a bunch of mums. So Kate Hazelton and Tony Collette are friends from like high school who have kids. Tony Collette, is rather abrasive and rubs other people up the wrong way. Bridget Everett is essentially the Melissa McCarthy of this film, but she is quite funny. And Molly Shannon is a divorced mum. So they all go out for dinner and they smoke weed and things ensue. Kate Hazelton starts having a will they won't they with Adam Levine of Maroon 5.
Is he playing Adam Levine of Maroon 5, or is he playing a different character?
Well, he's playing Adam Levine of Maroon 5, moonlighting as a bartender. And then all the while you've got Rob Hubel and Adam Scott like looking after their kids, and kind of things happen there as well. So this film is less than an hour and a half long, and it had enough laughs for me. So I was fine with it. I actually quite enjoyed it.
All right.
Yeah, it's no great shakes, but it feels comparative to Bad Moms. It's kind of weird that it's getting a VOD release. It's one of those ones where it feels like if it came out 2 or 3 years ago, it would have got a theatrical.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of the space that we're in now. But yeah, I laughed more than enough. It's very, very brisk. It's very pacey.
81 minutes long.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's kind of in and you're out.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing and wrote up a review of an evening. Which ain't too shabby. Yeah, I mean, like all the women are good in it. There's Kate Hazelton and Tony Collette are essentially the straight ones against Bridget Everett and Molly Shannon, kind of pushing out the comedic stuff a bit more. But yeah, it's all fun. I mean, it's no great shakes, but as a Tuesday night watch, it was actually not bad.
Nice.
And even though maybe don't pay for the VOD run, it will probably pop up on Netflix or Amazon Prime in the next few months anyway. So.
That's what I'd do. I'd just wait, because it's gonna crop up on one of the next few months, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. And my last one for this week is Kung Fu Killer, which is a film starring Donnie Yen, and he does the action direction. And it's directed by, I want to say Stanley Tong. I think that's his name. Oh no, Teddy Chan. I got that completely wrong. Okay, who the fuck's Stanley Tong? Um, but okay. So this film was actually at LFF in 2014. It's on Netflix now. So Kung Fu Killer. It's a mix of martial arts film and serial killer police procedural.
Okay.
But it's quite goofy. So basically, there is a serial killer hunting down like like people who are number one in specialized fields of martial arts. Donnie Yen is in prison. He's a former cop who's in prison for killing a suspect. I believe that's what it was. And he basically tells the police, I know who this guy is. If you let me out, I can help you. Or I know who he's going to kill next. So the film for like the first hour or so is interspersed with scenes of like Donnie Yen doing stuff with the killer going after his next target and then just having a fight scene. And then it climaxes with Donnie Yen and the killer having this fight on this like highway where they're literally running after each other and then just having a scrap while like lorries and shit are just like driving by them and they're in the middle of the road. And it's really fun. I mean, it's fucking dumb, and I actually have no idea. Like, the serial killer has a bit of backstory, and it's like, right, that backstory does not lead to I must kill every single number one in each different martial arts specialism. I don't get it. Like, it's mental. I think you'd quite enjoy this, so I'm not going to say, but maybe I missed something. I'll be honest, it was a treadmill film.
And it's on Netflix, you said?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Yeah, Kung Fu Killer.
I'll give that a go, yeah.
There's some decent fights in it. It's like an hour and 40 long, and it seems at the end there's like a dedication to people who are in the film, and I read up on it afterwards, and basically it feels like every single bit part is some sort of Hong Kong action cinema personality. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, every single one seems to be some sort of known in Hong Kong action cinema person. Whether it's like a director or an actor or a choreographer. And it's got them, like, all at the end. And it's mental. And even, do you know God, what was the DVD label called back in the day that did like Iron Monkey and whatnot? It was like Hong Kong Legends or something.
Hong Kong Legends, I think it was, yeah.
And they had their commentary tracks by this guy, Bay Logan.
Yeah.
He's in this. and you know, just as a cameo. And it like he comes up at the end, it was like, what the fuck is he doing here? Right, and so it's really entertaining. But it doesn't make a lick of sense. And seriously, if you watch it, if you could tell me why the killer has been driven to do this, I would love to know. It's very entertaining. Donnie Yen's really good. There's some really decent action sequences in it, and like good kind of like wire fu stuff. And recommended.
Nice.
Certainly, if you like that sort of thing, watch it. It's given me a bit of a taste for like Hong Kong action cinema. I haven't watched a lot recently. It kind of makes me want to delve back in. So good stuff. And that's it for me. So I don't think we got any Twitter questions.
I think we do actually.
Oh shit! Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm sure we've got a couple. Let me have a look. Rick Kidd, at Rick J. Kidd, best son wanting to adapt Valerian for years. Is there any book, graphic novel, or game from your childhood you want to see a movie adaptation of?
So, sorry, what was it? Comic book? Or...
It could be book, graphic novel, or game.
I want to see an adaptation of.
Most of the comic books and stuff that I've read, they've already kind of happened.
I don't know, man. Like, it just with games as well. It's just like
I don't know. I would like to have seen a Streets of Rage game movie.
oh yeah, no, I mean yeah. Okay, you could do something like that, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just like these days, it's like just kind of keep the mediums separate.
yeah. No, yeah, that's mine. Streets of Rage.
Okay, cool. No, I'd go with that. I'll say Golden Axe.
Golden Axe is a good shout. Golden Axe has been my second one.
Fuck, man.
Golden Axe.
Yeah. I'm happy with that. All right, cool.
Yeah, I think there was one more actually. I can't seem to be able to find it now, but I'm sure there was one more. Give me 2 seconds, and I should just have a look see if it's got lost in the ether somewhere. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yes, there was. John Dangerfield at Dangerfield J. Question: top 3 horror films of the last 5 years.
Top 3 horror films of the last 5 years. Fuck. I mean, I know you're not going to agree, but The Witch.
Yeah, I'm not going to agree on that.
No, I know you're not. Fuck. Okay.
This is a tough one. This one, I'm trying to think.
See, I really like the Conjuring films.
I really like the Conjuring films, actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed them.
I'm looking forward to rewatching The Conjuring 2. Actually, I do like the cinema watch and I haven't since, but yeah.
I quite like Don't Breathe. Thought that was a solid watch.
Yeah, Don't Breathe was good.
I enjoyed more on my rewatch actually because the bit where it kind of twists and gets a little bit grimier, shall we say, didn't feel as jarring.
Okay, that's good. I don't know. I mean, like, It Comes at Night is a horror film, and I would argue, and that's great.
Could you argue that the Neon Demon's a horror film?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good shout.
Trying to think what else. It's been a lot of crap.
I mean, Before I Wake was good.
Before I Wake was pretty good, yeah, actually. Just kind of have a look and see what's been out in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe, I thought was very good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, it's. Yeah, it was all right.
You know, in comparison to a lot of what is it that we get.
Krampus.
Krampus.
I love Krampus.
Yeah, I didn't like it the first time around, but it has now kind of made its way into it will get watched every Christmas now.
The Wailing was good. Did you get to that?
I haven't seen The Wailing yet. No,
that's good, man.
Is it really worth watching? Yeah.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Cool. What We Do in the Shadows. It's a horror movie. Might not be a classic horror movie in a horror comedy, but it's still a horror movie.
It's a fucking good film, that.
It's a solid movie.
The Girl with All the Gifts is really good.
Is it?
Yeah, The Girl with All the Gifts.
Right. Sinister, I thought was a solid watch.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's probably enough, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should sit on that. I'm looking through and going, there's a lot of crap there. There's a lot of crap. Yeah, that was it for questions, though.
Sweet. Okay, so that is it for this week's show. I will be starting my look through the Sight and Sound Top 250 on the Patreon feed. Should be this weekend. Might be the start of next week just because it's 3 films I'm doing in this first one. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But I'm going to be doing the 3 Colours trilogy. First time watches for all of them, I think. Even though Donna said to me the other day she swore I've talked about one of them to her before. So, but I don't know. Which makes me think that maybe in like.
I think you watched.
Have I actually seen one of them then? Shit.
I think you have.
It must have been like the mid to late noughties though. Like, God, really though? Like, I genuinely can't remember it, and it kind of feels like the Three Colours trilogy, based on what people say, kind of feels like it should be stuff that you remember.
Hmm.
But
It'll be interesting. Yeah, listen, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what you think about that.
fuck,
Those
man,
films.
that's really got me sketched out. That like, if genuinely, if it turns out I've watched one of them before, it's like I have no memory of it, no memory. Like, so fuck, that's weird. Okay, yeah. So there you go. You got some Damn You football coming as well, haven't you?
Damn You Football will be out, hopefully. I might delay it and do it at the weekend after all the Monday night, so that I can incorporate all the football that's happened between Friday and Monday. So it might land Tuesday. That might land,
Okay,
but
sounds good.
it'll be a bumper kind of preview. Damn You Football might even go to being a half an hour show every week after the football, after that week's calendar of games is gone, and then also be like a little half an hour show that discusses events of football every few weeks. So it'll get a little bit more intense with the season starting, and I will cover in the next episode stuff like transfers and bits like that and the craziness of all that. There's also the Patreon page. There'll be another Movie Memories, and there will also be another the Noir series as well on there. I've already watched one of the films, I'm not going to say what it is, and I've already watched one of the other films as well before the weekend, so that should be out, I would say, Sunday, maybe Monday.
Sweet. Very
So,
good.
yeah.
Very, very good. So we will be back next week on the normal feed, but there's going to be some extra stuff on the Patreon. $3 a month, patreon.com/dude and a monkey. But yeah, we will be back. Thank you very much for listening, and toodaloo.
Goodbye. Thank you very much, guys.